In today's session of Visual JForex, we will be completing our algorithmic setup using the indicator PPO, percentage price oscillator. So let us now head to the Visual JForex board, which has been developed by the Dukascopy Bank SA. The setup so far includes there is a subscription for the default instrument, which is Euro USD. The position amount was defined at 0. After this defining of the position, these two PPO blocks have been added with the varying shift values 1 and 3 respectively. Look at the price action. We are also relying on this cluster of 3 candles of hourly time period, and then to pinpoint the exact entry point, these get historical candle of the hourly candle period and 10-second candles will come handy. On the lower side, we have carried out these calculations to look at the difference between the PPO output values for two different times. The interval between the two PPO is 2 hours. We are taking the PPO blocks of the lookback period 1 and 3 respectively, and there we will be looking at the difference between the output value, and for the buy side trade to happen, we needed the last hour's PPO output to be more than the prior PPO output by at least 0.05. So we got this calculation actual difference, and we then compared it with the predefined value, our requirement of 0.05. Now for the sales side, the thing which will change is that instead of deducting the PPO output of the candle block with the shift value of 3 from the last hour, we will have to invert this calculation, and this time we will be deducting the last hour's output value for the PPO from the PPO value 3 hours back. So that means if if the decline is more than 0.05, we will be in position to place the trade. So I will explain to you the logic behind this on the chart. We have this chart plotted for the hourly candle period with the Euro USD as the default instrument, and I have also added the PPO output for clarity. And we will be initiating the trade whenever we see that the PPO output are on decline, and the decline should be happening fast enough. So for that we will need the PPO output value of the last hour to be lower compared to the PPO output value of the lookback period 3, and to arrive at the value a positive difference, we will simply deduct the last hour's PPO output from the prior PPO output, and we will have a positive output, which then can be easily compared with our predefined value of 0.05. So we will have to carry out this calculation anew. Let me get the calculation expression block. I will have to disconnect it here. And we will be deducting the out 10 from out 14. So out 14 I will take as the first input, and out 10 for sell trade to execute will need to be lower compared to out 14. So the calculation will be A1 minus A2 with this calculation in place, we will have to now start defining the entry point. An entry point is going to be above the current market price. We will take this actual difference of the last 3 hours high and low, and take 30% of 33% of it, which we have done here. And this we will then add to the last tick ask and arrive at the entry point. So I will take new calculation expression block, add it here, untick, last tick bid will need to be added with this BEP value to arrive at the sell point A1 plus A2, and this will be SE. Okay, so we have these two calculations done. Order validity can be used as it is for the sell side, so no need to again define the order validity. With this, we can now shift our focus to adding the if blocks for defining the conditions, and we are not going to need too many blocks, only 4, and after that the trade command block. Let me get 4 if blocks. And one pending open. We will take the difference of two output values for the PPO, and we will compare it to the second input, which is going to be 0.05. First input greater than second input. Okay. It is going to be set limit. Now we have to shift our focus to the price action, and all we need to do is make sure that the last hour candle close was lower compared to the candle open. So pretty simple requirement, and after that, whenever price starts to dip below the last hour closing, the algorithm will be ready to initiate the trade. So here we are going to need candle 17, candle close, and candle 8, candle 17's candle open, both the value. First input less than second input, and after that the candle 18 close and candle 19 close will need to be compared with the candle 17 candle close. So this will be the common input in both of these blocks. Candle 19 should have closed higher. So first input greater than second input. Okay. And candle 18 candle close will need to be lower. And we will join it to the pending open block. First input less than second input. And now time to define the input values for these trade command block. Price is going to be this SE. Trade amount I will change to 0.1 million. Default instrument remains as it is, Euro USD. Slippage is going to be 2 pips. Stop loss combination of 15 and 30. So we get the risk reward ratio of 1:2. And order validity is going to be the same as was the case with buy side. So we use the same variable. Order validity is going to be as per the result of the calculation. Let me check once what are the values for these both the variables TT and OV, because these two variables were defined in last session, so I don't precisely remember. Okay, 0.5, that means order validity is half an hour. Yes. So with this our setup is complete, and the algorithm is quite symmetric. We have the same number of if blocks, and after that this trade command block with pretty much similar input values. That's it from my side. If you have any query or any idea to share, you can write to me in the feedback section, and I will be more than happy to take the discussion forward. And links to the Dukascopy analytics page have been provided If you want to refer to the additional material, you can access it using those links. And also, if there is any query, any help required for the installation of the JForex or the Visual JForex platform, you can simply write in the feedback section, and I will try to reply to it fairly promptly. Thank you all for joining in. See you next time. Till then, goodbye.